one. Yeah. Shorty, I gave you all of me. Reason two. There's no one better than me. Reason three. You and me. Why would you need more? So there is no four.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And this morning we are talking with one of the candidates in the by-election in Golden Isles. F&M candidate Brian Brown is in studio with us this morning. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us.
Great to be here, Dwight.
All right, get a little closer to the mic for us, please. All right, so we got a lot to talk with you about, but we got to begin with the big headlines in the papers today.
Yes, sir.
You're making the headlines. $1 Million Declaration, the richest candidate.
Wow.
Well, boy.
I woke up this morning and see that. I said, look at God. God is a good God.
Well, let's talk about it. I mean, it says that you have a net worth of $2.3 million. $1 million isn't what it used to be. But what do you say to that to people who say, oh, boy, this is rich men playing? What do you say to that?
No, Dwight, that's not much money. I've worked. My life started as a young boy at a gas station on the corner of East Street and Soldier Road. My mom had 12 kids. I'm in the middle, couldn't afford my BGC, and I decided to work at the gas station to further my education while I was in school. From school, went into Super Value, started to work with Super Value. Mr. Roberts, I want to give thanks to him, and decided to work to a wealthy company as in sales. And I'll encourage anybody who looking for a good career to join sales. Sales is one of the best paying job in the world.
Wow.
Okay? And so I went to come.
Not everybody has the mindset for
Nobody
that.
have that, yeah. And you're right about that. And so I went at age 19, roughly 19, and when I went in the HR department, they said, you were too young. We don't want to take that risk. I pleaded with them and I said, listen, give me a chance. I'll never forget that day on March 22nd, 1992. So I went in there, joined the sales department, was elevated to manager in the company. Spent 33 years with that company.
Wow.
Okay, as the manager. And last year, June, I decided, listen, my time is come and gone. I'm going into politics. I want to serve the people. And so I gave them in June that December 31st would be my last day in the company. And so I traveled the world with the company. I've made plenty of money, and I put my money to use and invested. And so that's where I'm at today.
Yeah.
I've worked hard as a young man. And so that's me. And so that's the result of working hard.
Yeah. I don't want to dwell on this too long, but do you have to be wealthy to be in politics from your view? Do you feel like you need to have, can you just be somebody starting out, or do you need to be?
I don't think you need to be. I think you just need to have a heart for the people. And you have a heart, you could serve. And even if I wasn't wealthy, I would have still been where I'm at today. I've just got a heart. Me, Brian Brown, has a heart for the people. I want to serve the people. And so that's why I'm here today.
Yeah. All right. We may come back to that in a bit. But yes, I think you answered a lot of one of the first questions I was going to have. Who is Brian Brown?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's more you want to add to that before we get on.
Before we even get on, I want to say good morning to the wonderful people of Golden Isles. And I could go through from Golden Isles Road to straight on to Adelaide and to Venice Bay, across the street into Dignity, Carl Harbor, the Bacardi Road, Lazaretta, the Renaissance New Area, all of these areas. I want to say good morning to those persons who here in Mr. Brown today. Mr. Brown is a guy who's been around in the community 3 years. Okay, I came down in that community, joined the Homeowners Association, get to know the persons down in Golden Isles. My first involvement with the Golden Isles Association, the Free National Movement, was in 2011 on the late Charles Maynard. Charles heard about me, and he came at some point and said, Mr. Brown, I heard about you, and I would like for you to be my chairman. I said, chairman? I've never served in that position, and I said to him, okay, let me give it a try. And from that day to this day, I've been involved. Charles died in 2012. We tried to look for a candidate. Everyone asked, Brian, why don't you go after it? I said, no, I'm tied to my company, and if I leave, I lose pension and all this other stuff. So we've got another candidate came in, which was Kenyatta. Kenyatta came in, didn't complete the race for the election, and Vaughan. I recommend Vaughan Miller to be standard bearer in 2017. Okay. Still the chairman. After Vaughan crossed the floor, everyone in the constituency, Brian said, this is your time. You've got so many persons elected. I think you had the heart and the desire to serve us in the community. Put my hand in the race. After I put my hand in the race, worked the community. I wasn't successful in 2017.
What was that like, running against the person you had been campaigning for?
It was, it was hard in terms of how best we could serve. And he had his views, I had mine. Some things that he did, I just didn't, But I started in 2021 when they nominated me. I lost by 500 and something votes. 2,500 person didn't show up to the poll. After the election, I gone home and said, listen, where do I go from here? I got on the phone with some resident who was supporting me wholeheartedly and said to me, Brian, where do we go from here? How are we going to keep the office open? Will we keep the office open? And the pastor there, he said, Brian, it would be good if you could keep that office open. And so one lady, and Dwight, I'll tell you this, I was amazed. One lady who's an educator, lives on Spikenard Road, said, I will give you $100 every month to have this office. And up to this date, 4.5 years, she calls every day she get that pension to make sure that office remain open.
Goodness.
That office was open from the next day, which was the 17th, until now. Every day, we pay a rent at that building, we pay a light bill at that building, and we also pay the staff. I have a staff there. And the thing about it, we've had so many activities out there, and I could go through them. We have, and I'm here in person since what Brian has done. Well, I'll tell them this morning what I've done in Golden Isles, okay? My calendar, and I will sit to this association, wonderful association. They've had my back. Whatever I needed, I did to be successful. They came forth and they helped. Listen here, the best people in the world is in Golden Isles. Listen, they have my back. When I say on my back, they make sure that every event that I had at that office was successful. Yeah. The good thing about it is it's on the main road. If nobody says Mr. Brown has not done anything, they have not seen any activity, they don't live in Golden Isles. Right. There's a gentleman, I'll tell you this before I even move on to this. Works in Albany. I have a sign on there. Matter of fact, I took down the F&M sign and made it a Golden Isles Community Center because I didn't want to frighten people off from the F&M at the time because politics was out then. He goes to Albany from East every morning. He see my picture, say, drive safe for you and others. He said, what? He called me one day, find my number, and he says to me, Mr. Brown, why don't you just take this picture down and just go home? Why don't you go home? And because of my consistency in that consistency, that gentleman is one of my general now, on the ground, working with me every day to make sure that Mr. Brown, he's strong from the PLP, strong. His mommy is one of the trustees in the PLP. That man is right now, I believe he's in the front of my office as we speak, to make sure that Mr. Brown become the next member of parliament. Let me go through some of the stuff that we did. In 2018, I started a camp called Camp Golden Isles. Okay, Vaughan was the MP. I was the chairman. I said, let's do the camp for the kids. The camp started at the Remnant Tabernacle Church on Golden Isles Road. Started. The last one, that's from 2018, so that's 8 years ago. Okay, the last one I hosted on June 23rd, there was free breakfast, there was free lunch, there was free tour, everything in the campus was free. I hosted 100 kids for that camp. My greatest joy with these kids, the first camp, there was a gentleman on Lazaretta Road, and I saw him the other day on Lazaretta Road. He's now 18, so the camp was between 5 and 12, and I look at that young man, I said, boy, I remember when you been to my camp, and he said, Mr. Brown, you've done so well with me. So he's now a young man doing well in the community. And so we've been having that camp every year. Now, they want me to go more than this. Mr. Brown, little pocket can't go in 2 weeks.
Oh, boy. And
so they've been, listen, I've got pictures and all of that. Then on Saturday, we've been having cleanup campaign. The Golden Isles, big problem is a lot of derelict vehicles. There's a lot of grown bushes. The parks are unkept. We have about 7 parks in Golden Isles. They're unkept. The Coil Harbor, we've been having cleanup campaigns to help the community as best we can. I has a love of dominoes, and so I beat up a lot of fellas on the dominoes table. We've been having tournaments, giving out prizes for that. Every year I've been having Easter egg hunt. And so we've been doing well with that, and that's every year. Mother's Day and Father's Day, we've been helping the mothers and the Father's Day with that. We also have the senior citizen tour. I'm doing this. This is my third year doing it. What they do, they normally come to the office. We have lunch and talk because sometimes they just want to talk.
Wow.
And so we've been doing the senior citizen tour. The last one we did was last month, October. I had 72 seniors.
You said this is the third year?
That's was the third year doing that.
Okay.
And so I wanted one bus to carry all 72, but unfortunately we couldn't. We had to get two buses. And man, they listen, Dwight, they just love it. Just love it. The school classes, I have 25 students from Golden Isles, which we called for tutoring in the maths and English, BGC and BGCSE.
Wow.
I've got two teachers, which is a maths and English. They come every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to help students. They get a stipend. They've not charged me, but I want to make sure that, we want to help them get gas coming back because Golden Isles. But Dwight, I'll tell you about that class. I went to a house in Lazaretta, and there's a lady. My group was telling me not to stop at that house. I tell them, Mr. Brown, I'm going to every house. So the kids were in the yard, and I said to them, call your mommy. They said, okay, mommy's coming. The lady came on, and I introduced myself. Brian Brown is my name. She said her name. I said, Mr. Brown, I'm not supporter of your party, but I tell you this, I will be a supporter of you. And I wondered why she was getting there. She said, listen to me. One of my nephews was in that class, and she said, he's doing so well because of that class. She said, there's 5 votes in my house. And she said, I'm committing these 5 votes to you because what you have done in this community.
You've done a lot.
I've done a lot.
So let me ask you this. Do you need to be an MP to continue this work? Why do you want to be an MP? Why not continue with what you're doing and stick and stay to this?
Right, I want to expand. And because the expand, I want to get more. I want to help not only the community, I want to help national-wise to help the party to push the plans in the House of Assembly. But I'm going to be the best MP there is. I'm telling you, I'm going to be the best MP there is. Like the lady said, Mr. Brown, if you could do this out of the House of Assembly, I could imagine what you could do while you get in the House of Assembly. I'm prepared to fight for the people in Golden Isles. There's a lot going on in Golden Isles. There's a lot going to the people in Adelaide. They have a lot going on, and Mr. Brown need to bring some relief to Parliament with them.
Yeah. Well, we see a lot of people start off like this on the community level, but once they get in the House, their priorities shift, or they get busy doing the national work that you mentioned. How can you guarantee that you'd be able to keep this energy up?
What I'm doing for the time being, I have, and Frank Watson taught me this. Okay, you get poll captains and team for all areas. Those poll captain, Mr. Brown, there's a death at Miss Brown house. Somebody fell, this happened, that happened. I'm responsible to get there and make sure it happened what needs to be done. So I'm billing my poll captain and my team. Excellent team. So they'll be on the ground. I got a team for Adelaide, I got a team for Coral Harbour, I got a team for Dignity Garden, one for Lazaretta, Golden Meadows, Sunset Meadow, Excellent Estate, Elegant Estate, Bacardi Road. I've got a team. Venice Bay, I got down there. Although they gated, I got people in there who could work for me. And so I will make sure it happens. I promise the people that when I leave, and I'm looking for 2 terms, I'm only asking for 2 terms. I need to go and really retire and really go enjoy my life. I'm looking for 2 terms, and I would make sure that it happens. The parks need renovations. Bacardi Park is a shanty town. If you pass that right opposite the PLP headquarters, pass it and see what's happening there. Coral Harbour need renovations. The flooding in Coral Harbour is a problem. And no former member of Parliament just started to leave it the way it is. If you pass on the main street, there are a lot of derelict vehicles. Mr. Brown is going to tackle that.
Yeah. So you probably touched on some of this already, but what do you see as the role of an MP for his constituents and the entire country? What do you see?
The MP is making sure that your community is safe and your people live a better life than fighting for them, okay? The good thing about it is I live there. I shop in the food store budget. I shop in First Choice. I shop in an Arbor food store. So I could see when these persons got their calculator, they got to be making sure they don't go over the budget. I want to fight for these persons to say, let's lower the cost. The cost of living is too high. There are some people who I pass houses up for sale because they can't meet the mortgage. I want dignity. Gentlemen tell me, Mr. Brown, my mortgage is $900 and my light bill is $1,000.
Wow.
I'm here to fight for these people because I know I feel them. I feel them every day on the road. They stop at my office, Mr. Brown, this needs to happen. I've been helping them with a basket. Persons have been bringing food baskets at the office. I've never asked a person who came to my office, whether you are PLP or an FNM, you're Bahamian, and I'm responsible as a member of parliament to serve the Bahamian of this country. And I've been doing it, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to get my work going further.
Yeah, we're going to go to the news in just a bit, but you mentioned it, and it comes up a lot, especially in this race, that you live in this constituency. A couple other of the candidates saying that as well, but perhaps one is not able to say that. How important is it for the candidate to live in the constituency, and should that be a requirement? Because a lot of people who are representatives do not live in their constituency. But what do you say on that?
I believe it should be a requirement. I believe so. Because you feel the people more. Dwight, on my way home, I can drive through and see what's happening. I don't never go straight home. I drive through, make sure Bacardi Road is light because they've been playing with the lights and problems that they're making sure these potholes, I know them. I drop on them. I get flat tires in them. So I feel them. When I know when the lights go off in Coil Harbor, I'm there with the light. I'm off 3-4 hours. I'm lived there. Besides somebody else living in Paradise Island and don't know what people feeling in the Golden Isles.
Oh boy.
I know what in Adelaide. I drive through Adelaide. All the bushes in Adelaide blocking the road. The other day I had to go down there and get a crew, listen, we need to clear this up. Adelaide should never be this. Adelaide got a lot to offer. It's a village. We should be having tourists leave from downtown to go into Adelaide. We ought to make it happen. The fishermen get in Adelaide, don't have proper docks to even dock their boat. We got a beach in Coil Harbor, need massive renovations and the help inside it. All of these, I know of them. The flooding in Coil Harbor.
Are you saying you're going to be able to fix this? Or are you going to be able to do something about this?
I'm going to do my endeavor best. Working with the Homeowners Association, I'm going to do my best. I'm about to help one now. They're trying to put some cameras in the area. We're going to have that done in a few days to make sure we have cameras we could watch our community and to make it much more safer. We're going to get it done. The people down in Opaline Estate Drive, we're working with them to make sure the green space is taken care of. The Mount Table, they've been have the green space there for years. Past 2 years, they were promised we can help you there. Mount Table Estate is going to have that. Oakland is going to have that. We're going to work with Allegan, and we're going to make sure these things come to truth. I'm not just saying this. I'm a man who say what I mean and mean what I say. And they could tell you that. Anybody who know me in Golden Isle could tell you, Mr. Brown, if Mr. Brown tell you this is going to happen, even if I have to do it myself, hey, Golden Isle.
All right. We are talking with the FNM candidate for the Golden Isles by-election coming up in just a few weeks, Brian Brown. We're going to take a break from news. When we come back, I've got a whole lot of hot-button issues I want to get Brian Brown's view on. If he's going to be a legislator, where would he vote if this came to the House? Where would he stand on these issues? We're going to get to that in a bit. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product. One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product. The only way we could sell the product effective, that product. That helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find colour in every day.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always at personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Hard work and opportunity are the keys to success. I started as a packing boy, a bus boy, and a space cleaner. Now, I'm a businessman and a lawyer. As chairman of BAIC, I focus on creating new opportunities for Bahamian entrepreneurs and farmers. I'm Darren Pickstock, candidate for the PLP in Golden Isles. It would be an honor to work hard for Golden Isles and help with concerns big and small. Let's work together to create new pathways to security and success for more Bahamians.
This has been a paid announcement by the Progressive Liberal Party.
Looking for insurance that fits your life and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General. Insurance made simple.
At Cleveland Clinic, you set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you seek out the experts who've conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Get ready for magical holiday fun as Santa and Snow Bear make their grand entrance on Saturday, November 8th at noon at Kelly's House and Home. Come and join the fun until 5 p.m. for an afternoon filled with games, face painting, bouncy castles, treats, and more. Meet Santa and Snow Bear and take your picture with them and also save 20% on all toys, except on net items, with our fabulous toy sale. Kick off the holiday season with the arrival of Santa and Snow Bear at Kelly's House and Home. Happy holidays!
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to a special edition of Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. We continue our discussion with F&M candidate for the Golden Isles by-election, Brian Brown. So like we said, we had I have a whole bunch of questions. Want to get your views on before we open up the phone lines if we have time. Okay, so a lot of things you talked about. You're a community leader, clearly. A lot of these things, though, sound like things that should be handled by local government, if there were local government in New Providence. What is your stance on local government? Does it need to be expanded? Do we need it here in New Providence?
Right, that's a question that I'll say yes to. We need it to be expanded in here in New Providence. I do agree.
Yeah.
I believe we need to put legislation together to have it in New Providence.
And what form should it take? Should it be like what we see in the Family Islands, where there's not much teeth, or they can't do very much? Or
no, I think we need to get more power, give the community more power. Yeah, make it less for the legislation and other stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know if your party is on that? I know the leader has said that on the show previously, Michael Pintar. But is that a universal opinion within the F&M?
Well, once our manifesto is completed, we'll speak to that. The leader give us a hint, so obviously he'll bring it to us, and we'll make sure it happens.
Yeah,
that's the leader vision.
All right, let's get your opinion on these things that we talk about often on the show. Our listeners definitely seem to want it. We talk about it often. Where we stand, where you stand on these things. FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. We know we've not fully enacted it. It is not functioning the way it's supposed to function by law. Where do you stand on it?
Right, in the Free National Movement, we had on our agenda on last election. We had several stuff that happened, which was Irma. We had Dorian, we had COVID, and so we didn't have an opportunity to really get the Freedom of Information Act the way it ought to be. And I do agree with it, and I will support the Freedom of Information Act under the next Prime Minister, Michael Pintar. I'm looking forward for it.
This has been a big one. It's hurt a lot of people, and it's not the first time. We have pregnant women who are getting murdered, and the current law in the Bahamas has that counting as only one homicide, one death. Do you support this being counted as a double homicide?
Double, and I think we need to change the law to make sure it happens.
You agree that it should be?
It should be.
You would vote in favor?
Well, after consulting with my constituency, because they have, I get them very involved in my life in terms of my presentation at Parliament, and so I want to consult with them. So,
well, that's a pretty big constituency.
Yeah, they cutting me though.
I was going to ask you. So let's talk about that. And should there be an independent boundaries commission? And what do you understand that's going to look like coming up with the general election?
Well, wherever they cut, Brian is good. All right, because I've done work from Adelaide straight to Golden Isles Road, so I know the people from Adelaide straight to Golden Isles Road. They know me, and so when they've cut Golden Isles before, so I have an idea what it would look like. In 2017, they bought in a piece of Kalani, and that's what started to drive the numbers up in Golden Isles, which was the Dignity area, and now we got Renaissance, the New Home area, who's now part of Poland Division 14. Normally, there was a Clifton, where Mr. Wright had run and was the member of Parliament on last time. So, but most likely we're going to look at seeing it beyond Carlisle area, because the boundary line starts for us at Golden Isles Road. So most likely, but I know they have to cut us because we have 7,900 voters, which in its average 45 to 5,000. And so I'm looking for the cut. So I've been working the whole area, so it don't matter where they cut. Right, I'm a politician, so I don't wait for them; they wait for me.
Are you satisfied with the process to determine what is a constituency? How do you think that should look? Should it be more independent?
Independent. Because for the Free National Movement, we have one on the boundary committee.
Right.
I think it should be more independent. Let the people choose. I mean, politicians like to keep the power in their hand. Sometimes we want to let independent persons come and help us in areas.
Where are you on? You said it earlier. You only want 2 terms. Should there be
two terms? Dwight, I don't care. They tell me it's sweet in there. I want 2 terms. and I'm out of there. What I can do for Golden Isles in 2 terms, just that. I need 2 terms.
Should there be term limits for MPs?
Well, I'll leave that up to that side. I need 2 terms
For you, but okay. What about for prime ministers? Should there be 2 terms? Should there be limits?
I think
for
it should be limited.
Yeah. What do you think that limit should
2
look
terms.
like? Yeah.
2 terms. The United States have 2 terms, and that's it. I believe 2 terms. When you get in these areas, right, you excited, you do all your work in the first them terms. After that, that's why I don't spend 33 years at my job. Time for some young people to get in there and make some money like I did, and make the difference.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't want to be there. I got to spend another 5 years there. No, I'm not doing it. Let me serve the people of Golden Isles. I want to be their member of parliament, which I will be on November 24th. That's what I want to do. My passion is for people. I did it in customer service and in sales. Now my passion is to go door to door. I've been, as a politician, you be a lawyer, you be a doctor, you be a counselor, you go in those houses, listen here. When you leave, you didn't say, I didn't know I could tell her to take a Tylenol pills or how to take this case to the court.
You didn't say banker. Hopefully he's not a banker.
Well,
is it a banker too?
Well, you can tell him how to spend the money too.
Oh, okay. Well, not a teller. Okay.
No.
Well, hopefully not. All right. So we don't know when the general election will be.
No.
And we never do. It's always up to one man.
And that's another thing.
Should we have fixed election
We should have
dates?
fixed date for election. There should never be one man got the power in his hand to say, the rabbit got the gun.
The FNM had promised that.
Yeah, well, like I tell you, there was a lot going on with the FNM in the last election.
That feels like something they could have gotten in, though.
Yeah, you think so? No, I believe COVID had, people died in COVID, right? Let's try to save some life. And Dr. Minnis did a very good job in helping us in COVID. We had a lot to do. People were out of jobs. And so we had a whole lot. You know, when people died in COVID, Dorian, when people died in Dorian, and we had to deal with a lot of stuff. And I commend them. I mean, there was some stuff that we could have done better, but I commend them how they take care of some of those stuff.
Well, all right. National lottery. Should we have a national lottery where the bulk of it goes towards education and sports or whatever we want it to be? But should we have a national lottery?
Right, that's a national one. I'll come back. When I come back, we can be back again. I'll answer that.
You don't want to answer that now?
Nah.
People want to hear your answer to this.
No, they can hear me. Matter of fact, I got a story to put on that. Yeah.
So you don't want to say that now?
No, I got a story. Let me put my story on that voice.
Okay.
Let me put my story.
See, now everyone's very curious to know why you wouldn't answer that question.
No, but there's a lot of people being called for the national lottery to help and do more programs in the country. There's a lot of people being calling for it. And so
do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
You a journalist. You trying to get my answer. I'm gonna get back to you.
He won't answer that one. John Canoe, what do you think of what's going on right now?
Oh man, listen, Dwight. Listen, I'm a Saxon fan. Okay. Now, some people in my area tell me, if you ain't no Valley, don't come in my house. If you ain't no one family, matter of fact, the chairman for one family lives in my area. Well, you know, it is what it is.
Well, they've spoken.
Yeah, they've spoken. I believe John Canoe, this government has put John Canoe in a complete mess. They've not. They just take it away and just going haywire with it. I believe they need to sit down with the John Canoe group and help us. This is our culture. This is us. Everybody, when you hear that John Canoe music, everybody want to just move. I don't care where I'm at. I could be in my sleep and I hear that I'm rocking. And then to have where we at, it's a mess. I have a good friend of mine who, he's a Valley, and he is upset. He's upset the way the government...
Which Valley is he?
I think he's in the original Valley.
Okay.
He's in the original one.
Well,
he's not without the forward one. I'm a Saxon, so I stay focused on Saxon. I like family music, but I'm Saxon. But he's not pleased. He's not pleased. My good friend who rang the bells, who rang bells in Valley, he's not pleased. The John Canoe group is not pleased with the way the government and the minister is dealing with it. And not only that, I see where the court made the ruling in terms of the way you were giving seed funding to someone that was not regulated and not in order for you. No, come on, something's not right.
So what do you think should happen here? Should the Prime Minister step in, or should the government totally remove itself?
The government should totally remove himself from Junkanoo. Let the JCNP deal with it. They've been doing it all the years. I mean, if you have some problem where you see this, you need to sit down with them and say, listen here, as the government, we see this need to be amended or whatever. Sit down and talk. We got a whole chaos. I understand the Prime Minister, I think maybe in the papers this morning, I'm not sure. He may be going to sit down with them, and we hope we get some results to move this forward and get rid of it one time and done. On Christmas, the only thing we look for is Junkanoo.
Yeah.
That's it. When you hear Christmas, you hear Junkanoo.
Yeah, definitely. So you say you're a Saxon fan, but do you rush with the Saxons?
No.
So I was going to say, can you say whether the Saxons will be there on Boxing Day and New Year's?
I'm not involved like that, but I'm a Saxon fan, I'm a Laker fan, and I'm an F&M. I put the three of them together.
Oh, dear. The Laker one. Oh, boy. All right. So this one, sadly, this is like the toughest one it might be, even though you didn't answer National Junkanoo, National Law. Where are you on that? This has been an ongoing saga for so many years for this country. Where do you stand if you were made to vote on this?
That's another one I need to speak with my constituent and my party on. We'll come with one collective decision on that.
But can you say what your personal views are?
No, I don't say my personal views until I say theirs.
Okay.
I follow after my constituent.
Interesting.
I will tell you what they say, and I'll tell you whether I agree with them and what mine are.
Okay.
I'm even consulting them first.
Wow. All right. So you kind of, maybe you answered this before, but if you are not successful in this by-election, the general election is coming up in a few months after, you will still be there back with the general election? What happens?
Dwight, I'm in it to win it. Okay? I'm going to win this one. I'll tell you why. The PLP is scared. I'm right now, when I leave here, I'm heading to the police station. I know in 2007, when Charles win, the PLP and Golden, I know them. They pull up all their signs anytime they see them.
We heard
signs
about
around.
that. At the roundabout at Coral Harbor, they pulled up all your stuff.
When it was Charles on and Charles was winning, they pull it up. They know when they know when they're beaten.
It's kind of childish.
Yeah, very much so. And when it was born, run for the F&M in 2017, they did it. Okay? 2021, they didn't bother it because they felt that way. They know when they win and they know when they lose. And trust me, in politics, you know. They know. And last night, matter of fact, they started the Cowpen Road and ripping up all of my yard signs. They started yesterday on the Coral Harbor roundabout. One of the gentlemen who turned from the PLP, who's now with the gray truck with Brave picture on the truck and pick stock on the next door, pulling up the yard sign. He took the picture. Last night, I was going to one of the establishments in Coral Harbor. All of my photos were in the roundabout heading to Coral Harbor. Okay? I left there about 10:30, quarter to 11. The same crew was down in there. Came back out. None of them was there.
Wow.
None was there.
So you say you're going to the police? You're actually going to the police for this?
We're gonna make a statement to the police because when we put them down, they're gonna come again, and so we're gonna let the police know. Matter of fact, we have cameras at the roundabout, and somebody just tell me we're gonna try to pull the footage so we could get the footage on them. Okay, my point about it, I'm not into violence. The people of Golden Isles know me, and we don't need to go that way to have me elected as the member of parliament. We in the Free National, we don't go that way. Okay. We state our case, we go door to door and tell you, Mr. Brown plan, this is where he's going to stand. That's what we're going to do.
So you're going to the police, though? What are you going to do?
I'm going to make a statement.
I'm
going to make a complaint to the police about, because I'm aware who's doing it. I'm aware who's doing it. Okay?
I mean, it's been a lot of odd behavior when it comes to signs. You saw what Adrian White did with the PLP signs. But this is not very adult-like behavior.
No. This childish behavior. People can vote for you. Signs don't vote. The ones who see you pull on the sign is the one who can be voting.
Yeah. But I do want to get back to the question. So if you are not successful here, what would that mean going forward? And what does that say about? Does it say anything about the F&M? Is it a referendum on the F&M? Is it a referendum on your leader, Pintard?
There's no referendum. Brian is running for the people, and if the people are going to vote me in, and then they're going to vote me in this time, and then whenever they call the general election, I'll be running again, and they'll vote me in again to continue my work, Dwight. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
You could call anybody from Golden Isles. They could tell you Golden Isles said this time around they're going with Brian Brown.
Mm-hmm. All right, one more question before we turn it over to the listeners, to the callers. Debates. Are you open to a debate for this by-election? Yeah. Should that be a requirement of the candidates debate?
I'm open to debate, but it better be a requirement. Let the people make that a requirement to say, I want to hear my candidates in the debate.
But you're open to it?
I'm open to debate.
Mm-hmm. So if we can organize, because I put it out there, a challenge last week. So far, I haven't heard many positive responses.
Yeah,
but
not only
you'd be open?
Yeah, we've got less than 3 weeks now, and so time is winding down.
Time is definitely going.
Golden Isles is a big area. And we've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people requiring Mr. Brown at their house and to talk and so forth. So, but I'm open to it.
Okay. All right. Hey, we're talking with Brian Brown, the FNM's candidate for Golden Isles. Are you concerned that there's another candidate who's named Brian? Is that an issue?
Just look for the torch. Those of you who are going to vote for Brian, look for the torch. I represent the torch. Just look for the torch.
All right, let's get your calls in very quickly, folks. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Caller, good morning, you're on the air.
Right, your guest, how you doing?
Doing well.
Right on, man. Okay, I have just a quick question for your guest, right? How long were you living in the Golden Isles area for? The reason I'm asking this question is, right, that the problem with the flooding when you headed to budget, right, that's been this problem. What plans, we know you identify the problem. Everyone knows that there is a problem, but what are you going to do concerning the problem? Because one set is 3 sets of flooding. One by the gate, by Coral Harbor roundabout, right? Then is the one right before you reach budget. Then is another one. The last flooding that happens is right before Villa de la Rosa. We all know that the flooding is there because the wall is there for Villa de la Rosa, so there's no way for the water to go. So what plans do you have if you're elected to solve this particular problem? You have 2 Mercedes-Benz and a couple of cars. You know this, driving through all the water in a Mercedes-Benz? You have no idea what I go through. Dwight can tell you I complain about this every time it floods. It seems like only me will have issue with this. You can't live in this area having this particular issue going through the water.
Okay. A lot of people complaining about that, but thank you very much. I don't know if you can answer that.
I don't know if he listened to this show at the beginning. I told him I live in Coral Harbor for 23 years. He's talking about the beginning. That's my corner. I'm right there, okay? What we need to do, and bring an engineer in, and sit down and find out how we could get it out. The sea is right less than 100 feet away. And so all of us go through the problem. The problem, the defense force guys have to end up parking their car at the gate to get the bus through. So all of that problem. I live this, so obviously I want to see the best for it. I've never sat in a position as a member of parliament, but it's about it when he was the member of parliament. We have several points. In Barker's role is one of he's one in Ministry of Works, the junior minister, and he lives in there. But I want to see it resolved. Not only that, if you go in Coral Lakes, he's talking about there, Coral Lakes is worse.
Yeah.
But we, as the member of parliament, I'm going to try in my endeavor best to get an engineer in and try to see how we can help the community in Coral Harbor.
Yeah.
I mean, further uptown is not as bad, but Coral Harbor is the worst in the area in terms of the flooding.
It's pretty bad. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
Mr. Strachan, and to your guest.
Morning.
Okay, I am not a resident of the Golden Isles constituency, but I have quite a few in-laws and family members that live from the detention center corner, and also I have a lot of them live up in Adelaide. But my thing is, my first question, would you sit on a debate with the COI candidate and the PLP candidate?
We just asked
We just
him.
asked that question.
He said he is.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Would you?
We just answered that question, sir. I said yes, and we open to
Okay,
debate.
okay, you'll debate them. Okay, another thing too. You just said that you were living in Coral Harbor for 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you should have been on the ground in Golden Isles for 23 years. Why you keep saying 9 and 9 and 8 years?
Sir,
You
listen to
just
me.
start doing work.
Listen, sir. I've served as the chairman for Charles Maynard. I guess you didn't come to the show, the beginning of the show. I've served as the chairman of Charles Maynard for the Free National Movement from 2011. I came into frontline politics in 2021. I'm vying to be the member of parliament for Golden Isles at this by-election. So if you add up those numbers, that's what we're saying. I was living in there, but I became the chairman in 2011.
Okay, Cole, I'm not sure what point you're trying to make there. But let's take this one. Good morning, caller, you're on the air.
Morning, Dwight, and good morning to Mr. Brian Brown.
Good morning. Doing very well. How are you?
Okay, Dwight, this is Napoleon.
Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while.
Congratulations, Mr. Brown, sir.
Thank you.
This time is your time, okay?
Thank you very
What
much.
questions, like the last caller, everybody know he's a PLP, you know. What we need to do is see the individual for who they are and forget these colors, these party politics, okay? Mr. Brown is a genuine person. Anyone who listens to him could tell by his voice. He's more for people. And that's what we need today. Forget parties, okay? So he's saying what he's going to do. Stop brutalizing him and, just see him for what it is. Give him an opportunity. Have him prove himself as a politician. Because if he did all of that without being a politician, it only could be a plus if you put him in. So what you have to lose, put him in there and let him prove himself.
Thank you very
As
much.
he has been doing, not even being a politician. So forget the party politics, man. He's a good man, okay? Take care.
Thank
Do
you,
well,
ma'am.
Mr. Brown.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. This person says here they agree with you that the PLP is scared, but they're scared of the COI. What do you make of that? And what do you make of you also have an independent candidate running as well? What do you say to folks who are tired of the PLP and the FNM and that they feel that these two are not different enough to justify their vote?
No.
What do you say to that?
No, the thing about it is when you go to these houses and persons have their opinion, Dwight, what I find out, if you just go in and sit down and talk with them, you change their whole scenario of stuff. Okay, and so I've been doing that. That's why I go door to door. I need to sit with them, share my vision for you and the community and the entire Bahamas. And obviously, I've changed many of them. Mm-hmm. I've been to a house last night, and she said, I've been to F&M. She said, I need to. When I finish in there, she said, Mr. Brown, I'll see you on the 24th. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes these people, it's just like people, you need that tender love and care sometimes. You just go and talk with them. Some of them just need you to talk with them. And these politicians go by and share and talk with them.
Yeah. Texters bring up an interesting point, though, that often we hear candidates talk like you. Once they get in, and if their party wins, especially, then they have to follow the party line. And that the individual thought and this caring and feeling goes away if that's not what the party's into.
Caring and feeling got nothing to do with the party line. If you an MP, Frank Watson followed the party line. As I go door to door in that area, people are still calling out Frank Watson name, the best ever. Every weekend, Frank Watson ride around in the constituency, make sure his persons are okay. If you're having a function, he just pull up. People just want to see you. The biggest question in Golden Isles is my member of parliament is missing in action. They just want to see you. They want to see you doing your job. So your party line ain't got nothing with you being a good MP. We have many good MP who follow party line and still is a good MP. And I admire Frank Watson this very day. I'm supposed to be sitting with him again. He has been a good MP in Golden and Adelaide. It used to be Adelaide before I turned into Golden Isles. You go to Bacardi Road, that's all they know. That's all they know is Frank Watson. Mm-hmm. You go in Adelaide, Frank Watson. You go up in Bacardi and Lazaretto, Frank Watson. Frank Watson used to run all the way in Carmichael at one point. Everybody know. Frank Watson followed the party line as the deputy prime minister of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. He was the deputy prime minister. We were able to return calls to everyone. If he missed your call, you could tell by the end of the day, he will call and say, listen, I missed your call. How could I help?
Well, let's take these calls. Just a few more minutes left. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. Good morning to all.
Hi.
Yes, sir. Because of the cost of living, right? Would you support doing away with the customs duty and bringing other taxes like income tax and wealth tax and taxes like them,
If that's a question, I will tell you that the first thing we're going to do is take those VAT on the bread basket item, and that we had no VAT on. That's going to be the first one. I know that's going to be the first thing that we're going to do. All the medication, the feminine products, and all this stuff, we're going to take that off. I know that for sure. The party will speak to the rest of those, but I'm telling you, that's going to be the first relief for our people here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Okay. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air. Hi, caller. We're talking with Brian Brown, F&M candidate for Golden Isles. You're on the air. Are you there? No. Okay. All right. This texter says here. No, that's not. That doesn't. No, that doesn't apply. Let's take this final call. Good morning. You're on the air, caller. You're live. Hi. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. You're live. Turn on your radio for us, please.
You're on the air, caller.
Yeah. You are live. Turn on your radio. Okay. You're making them nervous.
I guess maybe I answer all the questions.
Maybe you did. All right, so what's next over the next few weeks?
The next few weeks, to the team, we're getting ready for the advance poll, those persons who traveling, because, the election is for during the Thanksgiving weekend. We're trying to get them on to vote on the advance poll, so we're working with that. And then we've got a rally in the alley on tomorrow night. I'm going to be speaking. You can hear more plans that Mr. Brown have for the Golden Isles constituency. I want to say to those persons, my team is in your area. Please, as you open your door, if I'm not there, Mr. Brown will be at your door at some point. The constituency is a huge one. I'm saying to the persons, those 2,500 who didn't vote, I need you to vote. We got to vote, because at the end of the day, Mr. Brown will be successful as the next member of Parliament for Golden Isles. And I'm looking forward. The team has been doing an excellent job. They've been doing well. The headquarters is being lit, man. Listen, I just feel the excitement of what's going to happen on the 24th. And I've been around. I'll tell you this, I've helped Boozy roll twice. It was 92, 97, Charles Maynard, Bourne Mill, and I know when the excitement is for a victory. I could tell you there's a victory coming.
Okay.
And I'm telling my team to stay focused. Election is won at the poll. And so we got to make sure all our persons out to the polls on election day. I'm reaching out to the police and the defense force. They're going to be voting early. And I know all of them in the area. So we'll sit down and talk.
These texts just came in, so let's get to these very quickly. This person says, if elected, will you prioritize the cleanup of the Golden Isles constituency by involving residents who live in the area? People outside the community get the contracts. The cleanup doesn't seem to happen in a timely manner when that happens.
No one who doesn't live in Golden Isles would be a part of that. The last cleanup that I took care of, Adelaide, I don't believe somebody from uptown should go to Adelaide to clean Adelaide. No way it should happen. I organized one. I said, listen, you get the young fellas here, y'all go ahead and clean it up. Same thing with Bacardi, Coil Harbour area. The persons who in the area should deal with it.
Yeah. Well, this person says, whoever's responsible for maintaining the stretch from the airport roundabout to the police station on JFK should be held accountable. It's in terrible condition. Is that in Golden Isles?
It's not in Golden, that's Galani. But the whole Bahamas in terrible condition. You go up Carmichael Road, you go up opposite my church there on Carmichael, you've got the whole place is just dirty. It's filthy. Yeah. So I don't think the Beaches and Park has done a good job in maintaining the parks, the streets. It's been just, if you drive through, people throw can, and I am employing persons to be more tidy. Find a garbage, they just throw it out the window. I drive around many times and I'm just getting rid of it. We got to keep a better Bahamas.
It's out of control. Yeah. Boy. Thank you very much, sir, for being here this morning.
Thank you very much, and thanks to the wonderful people of Golden Isles. They my family, they my friends, they my neighbors. I want to say to them, those persons even in the back of the gated community that we've not got an opportunity to get in back there. My office is open. I've got an office cell. We've got an office email, goldenislestrong@gmail.com. The office number is 6984299, and I got an office cell that was always being used, 818-7666. You could always reach Mr. Brown, and we'll get back to you. Thanks very much, Dwight. It's been a wonderful show with you, and look forward to come back soon.
Yes, the text says, don't change your number.
No,
don't change your number
not Dwight, listen to me. Do that, listen to me. No, that's a good one. I told him I had this cell phone for the past 20 years. The same number. I'm not changing this. I will answer your call. If I could help you, I will say I could. If I can't help you, I'll say, sorry, I can't help you. But I find out politician does not answer the number, I want to use the word piss people off. But the point about it, they get mad and they say, you could have answered me when you wanted my vote, but now you're back to the 5 years. You want to come back now. No, Mr. Brown.
You're not going to be that.
No.
Okay.
I'm telling you, this number will be the number that I have when I finish my my 5 terms.
We got the recording of the show, so
my
we're holding you accountable.
My 2 terms, I'm going to have this number, and I'll bring this back to you. I'll let you know what it is before, and then I'll let you know when I get back after the 10 year.
Brian Brown, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you much, my Dwight, man. It's been great to be here. I feel excited. It seems that continue to push and do well. I listen to you every morning.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
And good luck to you. And again, hopefully we'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll
man. Talk soon.
All right, we're going to take a break and be back with our final few minutes of Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We do hope to speak to all the candidates. So, again, open invitation to everybody to come through. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Bahamian families, mark your calendars. On Sunday, November 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. at the British Colonial Hilton, meet 13 of Canada's top CAIS accredited boarding schools. Join our schools for a casual yet informative Canadian reception directly following the Betty Walker Fair. Discover how CAIS boarding schools offer small classes, personalized support, and a safe, inclusive community that prepares students for success at top global universities. Don't miss it. Sunday, November 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. at the British Colonial Hilton.
Hey sis, are you ready to reset, refocus, and rise? It's time for the Unstoppable Weekend, happening November 8th and 9th in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Join us for 2 unforgettable days of empowerment. Saturday's luncheon brings inspiration, connection, and sisterhood. Sunday, Stuck to Unstoppable workshop, focus, breaking limiting beliefs, and equipping you with the tools to step boldly into your next season. Register today at www.heysisempowerment.com. Your unstoppable journey starts now.
At RBC, your idea of getting more happens here with a no-fee loan. Share in up to $20,000 in cash prizes. Learn more at rbc.com/holiday loan.
Looking for the perfect Sunday outing? The National Art Gallery of the Bahamas is now open and free to all Bahamian citizens and residents. Spend the day admiring the evolution of Bahamian art. Soak in the natural beauty of our art park and take a little piece of culture home with you by browsing our gift shop. Whether you're an art lover or just curious, we've got something here for everyone. Bring your family, your partner, or your friends and let the art inspire you this Sunday and beyond. The National Art Gallery of the Bahamas, our home for Bahamian art.
Some people come and go. Others work for you every single day, whether through free classes for students or programs for the elderly. We've been building Golden Isles for years, while others waited for their time to shine. I'm Brian Brown, and I know it is something you earned. On November 24th, vote FNM, because this time around, we're going with Brian Brown.
Paid for by the Free National Movement.
Ladies, get ready. The premier women's empowerment event of the year is here. Inspire Her 2025. Join us November 20th at the Bahama Convention Center for a transformational experience featuring Emmy Award-winning Tabitha Brown and first female CEO of BET, Deborah Lee. Gain powerful insights, build meaningful connections, and walk away with strategies to elevate your career and life. Tickets available now. Get yours on the Alive Events app before it's too late. Don't miss Inspire Her.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Attention RBC clients. To comply with regulatory requirements and to avoid service interruption, you need to update your information at your RBC branch. While you're there, enroll in RBC Digital Banking for 24/7 access to your accounts anytime, anywhere. Update your information and bank at your convenience with RBC Digital Banking today.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. SpaceX is continuing to work through the environmental impact process along with the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection in hopes of restarting its Falcon 9 rocket booster landings in Bahamian waters. Vice President of Launch at SpaceX, Kiko Donchev, telling Guardian Business that the space exploration program, which uses the Falcon 9 rockets to launch, is hopeful the process will be favorable and that landings can continue in the Bahamas. The company had hoped to have 20 landings under its belt in the Bahamas by the end of the year. However, environmental concerns loomed large after one of SpaceX's Starship rocket test flights broke apart over the Bahamas and rained down debris in the country's waters. Despite Starship, Falcon 9 is a separate project, and local authorities put further SpaceX booster landings on hold in order to do a thorough environmental impact study on the possible effects of booster landings in this country. Nassau Hollow World, a holographic theater experience in downtown Nassau, is moving to Marathon Mall by the end of the year and will have a second location at Nassau Cruise Port by the end of December. Principal of Nassau World Production, Kevin Burrows, telling Guardian Business that the move from the main downtown location to the mall was due to a lack of customers in downtown Nassau. More on that in today's Guardian Business section. Overseas, U.S. President Donald Trump's power to unilaterally impose far-reaching tariffs is coming before the Supreme Court of the U.S. today in a pivotal test of executive power with trillion-dollar implications for the global economy. The Republican administration is trying to defend the tariffs central to Trump's economic agenda after lower courts ruled the emergency law he invoked doesn't give him the near-limitless power to set and change duties on imports. The Constitution says Congress has the power to levy. The Trump administration argues that in emergency situations, the president can regulate importation taxes like tariffs. Trump has called the case one of the most important in the country's history and said a ruling against him would be catastrophic for the economy. And British retailer Marks & Spencer saw its half-year profits more than half as a cyber attack brought its online business to a grinding halt. In a statement today, Marks & Spencer, M&S, said its underlying pre-tax profits tumbled 55.4% to £184.1 million, or $240 million, in the 6 months to September 27th, largely on the back of a 40% collapse in online home and fashion sales after it was forced to halt website orders. Firm food sales helped cushion the blow. M&S had to stop all online sales for around 6 weeks and suffered empty shelves due to the disruption to its logistics systems after hackers targeted its business around Easter. The company has said the attack was due to human error. The hack costed $324 lost sales, but that it was able to recover $100 million through an insurance payout. In your Market Watch recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday, your market mover is Commonwealth Brewery, moving 46,700 shares, closing at 10.72, up 60 cents. Consolidated Water up 3 cents, closing at 6.92. Emera Incorporated down 7 cents, closing at 11.52. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,075.54, up 0.57. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Hi, so our Chester Robards, our final few minutes of Morning Glen Business today. Wanted to talk about something that was in the papers this week. This was in the Tribune yesterday. Nearly 900 to lose entire Red Lobster investment. So nearly 900 Bahamians who acquired equity ownership via this nation's first ever crowdfunding raise have lost their entire investment after the Red Lobster franchise decided not to proceed with its restaurant build-out. Liquidators for the Arawak X crowdfunding platform revealed in a recent letter that Pinnacle Franchise Brands had abandoned plans to create a multi-location dining network in the Bahamas due to circumstances beyond its control. These circumstances were not specified by Ed Ramming, the Bahamas principal, and Cheryl Sims, the Kiki Varacas and company accountant, but are understood to refer to the passing of Pinnacle's principal, Chris Mortimer, the late Galleria Cinema's chief and former DNA deputy leader. Another factor is thought to have been the Red Lobster's, the brands, the company in the U.S., its own financial woes, which involved Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. So addressing investors in Pinnacle Franchise Brands, which was the first of the 4 crowdfunding raises facilitated by Arawak X's platform, the co-liquidators wrote, quote, "Unfortunately, this issuer has decided not to proceed with the business plan given circumstances beyond its control. The joint official liquidators have provided this issuer with its share register. Your investment in this issuer is lost." That is some cold news, cold way to put it, too. The joint liquidators, in their first report to the Supreme Court on Arawak X's demise, disclosed that records showed 868 investors parted with a collective $90,384 to purchase some 74,054 shares in Pinnacle Franchise Brands between August 23rd, 2021 and January 4th, 2022. But Tribune Business record on several occasions that the crowdfunding had actually raised a combined $350,000 in capital. Arawak X's liquidators advised Pinnacle Franchise Brands investors to contact James Owen, its now former chief financial officer, for further information, and provided both his office phone number and business email address in the letter. My God. Okay. However, Mr. Owen, when contacted by Tribune Business yesterday, said he was unaware of this and voiced surprise given that he had stepped down as a director more than 1 year ago and had nothing to do with the company. Owen said, quote, "No comment because I have nothing to do with it. I left 1.5 years ago, if not 2 years ago. I've not seen anything and no one has contacted me. I don't know anything about it. I can't give a comment on that because I don't know what the major shareholder has decided to do." That shareholder would be the estate and family of Chris Mortimer, who was the main equity investor and financial sponsor in Pinnacle Franchise Brands. However, when contacted in May 2024, Paulette Mortimer, his sister, told the Tribune to speak to Mr. Owen, as he was the one, quote, "dealing with it all," even though Mr. Owen himself had previously referred this newspaper to Mr. after confirming that he had stepped down as director. Okay, so this is just a complete disaster and a giant mess. And good Lord, Wow. So sorry for all of the people who invested in this and have lost their money.
You mean didn't invest?
I did not. But, sadly, folks appeared on this show and promoted this, and we talked about it, and it just is just hurtful and heartbreaking. But I guess those are the risks that are involved. But the way this has been handled, and now this back and forth between the people, this is something has to be done about this. The way that we allow companies to do this to investors, to the public, and then nobody is held accountable. Nobody wants to answer. Nobody wants to answer any questions. Everybody's passing the buck and playing tennis with us. Unbelievable.
But you got to read the other story in today's paper, too. Part of it.
More?
At least that the Securities Commission said they're going to look into trying to get the money back
Yep.
to some investors.
All right, let's read a little bit of that in today's paper before we run out of time here. So the Securities Commission last night pledged it is pursuing the failed Red Lobster franchise in a bid to protect almost 900 Bahamians and ensure they claim their investment in this nation's first ever crowdfunding raise. Christina Roll, the Capital Markets Regulator's executive director, when asked by Tribune Business whether it is taking action to ensure investors are refunded because their monies were never used for the purposes stated in the offering, replied, quote, yes, the commission is pursuing investors' rights with Pinnacle franchise brands. Backed by a formal statement from the Securities Commission, which suggested that a letter written by the joint liquidators for Arawak X crowdfunding platform stating that Red Lobster investors had lost their entire investment was potentially misleading because of the work it is doing to ensure they are compensated. Okay. So, Securities Commission saying, quote, the commission notes that insofar as it concerns Pinnacle franchise brands, the letter is potentially misleading as it does not reflect investors' rights with respect to Pinnacle and its obligations as a public issuer. The commission further notes that it is pursuing Pinnacle to ensure that it complies with its obligations to investors as a public issuer pursuant to the Securities Industry Act 2024. All right. Tribune Business revealing that letter from Ed Ramming in the paper yesterday, which we just read, reported there's likely the demands that for Bahamian investors to be refunded their monies. Well, of course. So the commission, Securities Commission says they're going to be working on it. We'll see. But just the coldness.
You shouldn't be hopeful that you'll get all of it because some of it was already spent. They did start to outfit someplace in Trinidad. They were starting the franchise expansion in the Caribbean and Trinidad. So they had already started putting stuff together there.
But that type of language that the liquidators said, that shouldn't even be allowed. And they just tell the investors, hey, give him a call, that guy over there. Really? But anyway, let's hope the SCB can do something. And
well, I don't know how old that is, but you're right, because I mean, when I spoke to James Owen, I was told, I don't know how long ago, probably as long as he said, that he was no longer involved.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. We'll keep our fingers crossed that this can be resolved for you. Wow. Interesting times indeed. Chester Robards, thank you so much for being here this morning. Appreciate it. And I'll be back with you soon here on a Morning Blend. What's so funny? I'll be back in a couple of days, folks. Chester's going to be here with you tomorrow and Friday. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green. Next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on Guardian Talk Radio.